Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Drop Frames. Sorry about that. I didn't have the. It doesn't matter.
Okay. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Never
matter.
matters.
It never matters. What episode are we on?
201.
201. All right.
Oh, shit, right.
Yeah, that's true. You
I
guys
might
still...
as well get it right once, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What's up? I told you guys, you know this, the two of you know this, but yeah, I just got lost in my coffee this morning because I looked over at the clock and it's 11:48, I think is when I sent that message, and I'm just like, well, let's see what's going over on Reddit movies. Oh, fuck. It's kind of how that process. So, yeah, I usually think about what we're going to talk about and how we're going to start the show. I ain't got nothing today. This is completely mentally unrehearsed. So, where would you guys like to begin? Where should we start?
Well, damn good coffee and hot.
I know we don't do this often.
I wish I had some more.
And maybe we should just kind of like, throw a wrench in the machine here and try something new. Maybe we should start with video games.
Video games? What a novel idea.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What a novel idea. What video games would you like to begin with, Co?
I would love to hear how your adventures in Dragon Quest Builders.
The Dragon
3,
Quest
5,
Builders?
whatever.
The second one?
Yeah, I saw you've been playing a lot of it. How's that been going?
So I teased this yesterday on Court of Swords because I told Zeke that I would get him to play it because he enjoyed the Dragon Quest world. And then he informed me that he didn't enjoy the Dragon Quest world. He enjoyed the RPG aspect of Dragon Quest 11. So I don't know if it's going to be a sell. But maybe I can convince you. It's a long fucking game, though. We're talking like hundreds of hours, potentially. It's a big game. I don't know how actually long it is. I just know that it's very long. This is it right here. This is about, how far would I say? This is probably 12 hours in. I'm building a, so let's start with the premise of Dragon Quest Builders 2. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is a directed Minecraft with slight RPG elements when it comes to combat and story and Dragon Quest. Like, Dragon Quest is obviously the backbone for all of this, but this is me building a extension to my Sky Farm. You can see, also I fell. You can see there on the right-hand side that you have a main mission that is part of the directed Minecraft. That obviously changes as you get on. This is also considered like the tutorial world very early on. After you leave here, someone said there's like 4 or maybe 5 worlds after this that have, it just builds on itself where the tech tree kind of always continues building and there's more and more shit. It's Minecraft in the sense that you can basically build anything. You go and collect resources. You have to have wood to do everything that I'm doing here. You have to turn wood into these blocks. It's all done on a controller. This is the PS4 version. It's also on Switch. There are times when the controls are kind of annoying where you wish you had a mouse so you can do this stuff a lot more precisely. But the game probably taught me how to do things a little bit better, but chat was what I relied on to do those things. So like if you just hold down square right here and move forward, your character won't change, like won't rotate. It'll just always build on that straight line. You can also go first person and like hold down the arrow that you want to keep building, and it'll go out like 5 or 6 lines from that point without moving your character. So there's some tools around it. But yeah, like it was the distraction that was needed, and it was the right amount of just kind of mindless grinding that, that I was looking for. Because you do have to go, like I said, you do have to go collect 200 wood. Let me skip to some of the fighting here. This is some of the building.
Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on a minute.
all right.
So, I'm guessing you're building like some sort of garden in the sky.
I'm building a sky garden, yes.
There you go. Why put wood underneath it? Why not just put the soil right there? Have wood underneath it? Because it doesn't obey physics, obviously.
It doesn't obey physics, and I guess technically you probably could just put topsoil or soil there, and yeah.
Zeke, but you need a floor, man. I mean, come on, dude.
But you don't, though, because it's not physics.
But you do.
I guess you wouldn't need
But
to.
you don't, Co.
Yeah.
But you do. I mean,
Right,
come
you're
on, man. How's the dirt just going to float? I mean, that just ruins the immersion.
I'm sorry, you're right.
I don't know if you actually
Or it
need
blew
the
up.
wood there. See, now I'm putting the soil in. Here comes, and I actually, in all truth be told,
Do you even need a border wall for the soil?
Yes, but the reason for that comes later, and you'll actually see why when this is finished. If we get to that point, here's kind of where it's first person. I'm building it out. Lines aren't very precise. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying.
You're saying?
Oh, I messed this up. I messed this
soil?
up. It should have been one more. It should have been one deeper. Because I eventually had to put a border on this because you're supposed to. One of the crops that you grow is sugar cane, and sugar cane needs to grow in water. It needs to grow in soil that's sitting in water. And if you put water on top of this, the water just kind of goes off the sides, and so it doesn't stay contained. Okay. So I needed to be one deeper. So later on, I eventually add a wall, and then put a perimeter around that wall so that it's like growing in. So that the water surrounds the plants and it grows faster. That's something that I learned later on that the story kind of teaches you. So there's a lot of stuff like that where you'll do, very simple aspects of the game. It's like, but you can also do this and it will improve the growth rate or something like that. And then it even got to like towards the end of this world, it got to telling me that I can put down a chest. I can create a treasure chest. And if I put all the materials in a treasure chest and I create a blueprint, then all the people in the town will just start building that blueprint for me. And they'll just create whatever is in that chest. And that's like part of the main story that I could probably skip to because the story in this game is like such an afterthought, at least for me. None of it is voiced. It's very dialogue heavy. Like we're talking like 8 to 10 different blocks of text for like everything that you talk to.
I definitely tuned in while you were playing this.
Really not selling this like very well at all.
Yeah, but I just don't read it. I don't read it.
I tuned in while you were doing you were in like a river bed or something and you were running stuff around.
That was yesterday. Yeah.
And like you would just walk up to an NPC and you would just look over at chat and be like, doot, 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 doot. Is it done? Okay. And then you run to the next guy. Doot, 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 doot. Is it done? Oh, okay. Let's keep playing.
Yeah. And the best part about
this must really not be interesting.
The best, I mean, I was reading some of it. I wasn't completely unaware of what was occurring because the story is there, but it's Dragon Quest story. So it's like ultimately not that interesting. And I knew that I wasn't missing out anything or missing out on anything because the 20 hours or 15 hours that I streamed it, not a single person came in chat and it's like, wow, he's not even reading the story. Everyone was like, oh yeah, okay, this story part, let's wait till he gets back to building. Like no one complained that I was skipping it. So I didn't feel bad whatsoever. Because typically if you do that on a stream, people will be like, oh my God, he's not even reading the story. Why do you even play this game? None of that. So I knew I wasn't missing anything dire.
Well, I mean,
so you...
It's not something that's a huge selling point for a Dragon Quest game to me anyway, because I just got done playing through Dragon Quest 11, and I did not mind speeding through. I glanced, I skimmed most of the dialogue, but the story was just like your standard boilerplate like Dragon Quest story. So I mean, like once it was all done, I was like, oh. So bad guys get defeated by good guys? Okay, sounds good.
Right.
Like that's basically it.
Also, that's a worm. He's turning the good soil or the bad soil into good soil. He's a town member. It just
what a bro.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
What do you pay that guy?
He eats the soil, so he's working to live or working to eat to live.
Yeah, will work for food.
Yeah,
kind of a guy.
Yeah, cool. Nice guy. Nice guy.
He's not getting that edge stuff though. Oh, now he is.
Yeah, so again, it's just the learning process. If you fence that area in and it's as you add things to rooms, those rooms will then turn into a specific type of room or a specific type of farm. So if you put, like one of the quests is you'll walk up to someone and they use the Zelda type dialogue where the important stuff is like bolded in red. And so you just kind of pay attention to that when you're scanning through the dialogue. And it's like, hey, we would really like a room that has a pot and a towel rack in it. And it doesn't have to be a large room. It could be a tiny room, which is like a 2x3 grid. And you're like, okay, I'll go build a couple of those. So then I had kind of like 5 outhouses that were a little bit further away because people needed to use the restroom. And so I built toilets for them. And then you literally go into the toilet. I was worried I was going to get banned. You go into the toilet and you collect their shit, and then you use their shit for fertilizer on the farm.
Right, sure. That makes sense.
It makes sense. It's called night soil, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually the name for it. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so you also get a bunch of different tools. That pot right there is a pot of water, so you can just put water anywhere. It's like a magical pot. You can just drop as much water. You can see here, I learned that, oh, fuck, this water's just going to, like, flow.
Well, yeah, because there's holes in your fence, you big dummy.
Yeah, well, that's how you make a farm, is you put those things around
All
it.
that's water you carried up in your bucket?
Yeah, no, it's a magical bucket. Yeah, there's RPG bullshit in here. It's a magical bucket.
So why don't you just leave your bucket up there so it just keeps running, and you got to not only do you have a nice garden, but you have a nice waterfall feature.
Well, that was the thing. That's what I'm looking at right now. It's like I could just leave this because the water doesn't go away.
It is pretty. It does look like doo-doo water, though.
Yeah. Well, we're in a bog. Yeah.
The
water's collected from a bog. There's no pure water until much later in this level and in other worlds. But yeah.
Dude, tell people it's chocolate milk. Build a chocolate factory around it. You got yourself a game.
It's true. It's true. I would assume there's some sort of like water filtration system in this game. Some of the other things that I never actually got around to seeing them, but the game has multiplayer in it. It's not like full, you can't go through the story quest, but you can go back to like whatever the Isle of Awakening, I think is what it's called. You can have people build there and stuff with you. And there's a board. I don't know if I can see it on the map here. There's a board that you can go to and like view the top visited places, the top visited worlds that people have created. Some of these things are, you take a look at it and you just think like, this game's been out like 2 weeks. How the fuck have you created like Mount Rushmore? Or like we're talking like crazy fucking structures. I might be able to try let me try to find the part in the VOD where I showed some of the stuff.
It follows the basically like building structure of Minecraft, right?
Yeah, but in Minecraft, I feel like that type of stuff can just be created through, since it's on PC, you can just kind of like mod that stuff, right? Like it's not.
There's also for instance, there was a gigantic Enterprise from Star Trek in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And it turned out like, and everyone was super impressed with it. And the guy was like, "Oh, I just imported that."
Sure. Yeah, that's what I mean.
You can do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some of that stuff is like piecemeal, like imports and manuals and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Let me. I'm trying to find the specific VOD that had this stuff in it. The other stuff that is important to note is you have unlimited inventory. There's no, and things can stack up to 999, so you never really like run out of spaces.
999?
Yeah.
You said 999.
Yeah. I knew that would be relevant.
That's later.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So like you never really run out of stuff, basically. So that was nice. Okay, here I am. This is the first day that I played the game. This is like one of the super early tutorials. Here we go.
Yeah, you never actually talked about like the point of the game.
Point of the game is to progress down the main story. It's to like fulfill the needs of whatever the people need.
Okay, there you go.
So they'll say
if
like
you just stop there. That would be a very like the most JP answer of all. Like, what's the point of the game? Oh, it's to follow the main story. Oh, got it. Thanks. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Basically, like you'll get to a certain. All right, we'll really get to the core of this. Let's
get into the weeds, baby. Let's go.
As you do things in a village, people will like poop out hearts. They don't poop out hearts, but that's what it looks like. Like these little hearts pop up. You go and collect these hearts, and the more hearts that you collect, the more ranks that your village gets. And as you rank up your village, you're able to unlock more recipes because you're the builder, and the builder is like a legendary thing in this world. Everyone forgot how to build. And monsters have taken over the world, basically. Like darkness has taken over the world. Demons have taken over the world.
Right. So like in the like the core game, you're the luminary Like,
yes.
you're the only one who can fight. In this game, you're
Yes.
the only one who can build. Like, you're the chosen one
Yes.
again for the 15th time.
Well, that's Dragon Quest. Yeah, that's Dragon Quest
I love it. I
lore
love
in
it.
every game. That guy right there you saw that had the spiky hair. It's alluded to a lot, but he's basically like the Antichrist. Like he's a really bad demon guy, but he fights alongside you. He helps you fight enemies, and if you're
Just like Satan.
yeah, if you're collecting stuff, like if you have a quest to like, or rather, if you start chopping down trees, if he sees you chopping down trees, the AI will like walk around and start chopping down trees as well, and like collect stuff for you. So it's super beneficial to have him around.
Sounds like a pretty friendly Antichrist.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. The game has some pretty fun characters. There's a character named I think it's Bridget, and she's a fighter that'll like defend your town, but she's also a memer. And so she just says memes the entire time you're talking to her, like OMG or memes. I don't know. I'm an old guy here. I'm the boomer. I don't know what they
She's
say.
like a Cali Valley girl.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's lit. Yeah, she says "so lit" a lot. Like that's a phrase that comes out.
It hurts a little.
Yeah. So this is me loading that board. Look at some of this shit that other people have made. Some of this is like people are just taking photos and those get upvoted. But I'll go over to the top islands here in a second, and you'll see just the absurdity. Like someone built that building right there. Like that's a world that people have built. Compared to something that I've built is like maybe the very top of that little building at the very top. It's fucking astronomical. Like it's
pretty cool. And there's no like creative mode, right?
As far as I know, not at the outset of the game. Like you have to play through the main story. There might be something later on. Look at this shit. Like people built airships and stuff. Like it's crazy. It's fuking crazy, man.
These people not have any fucking lives.
I don't understand how they could do this. It's crazy looking. Because
it's cool.
In order to get to that point, like you have to turn all that grass green. You have to like plant all those trees. You have to like.
They can just be on different worlds, right?
Yeah, like those are their own worlds. Basically, is how I understood it. That's how you can visit this stuff. Someone built Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that's cool. Fuck.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy. It's always crazy when this stuff, whenever this stuff pops up in these type of games. Because like by comparison, the stuff that I've done is just a shitty sky farm that has water spilling out on all the. Like, look at this shit.
Hey. Poop water. Come on, man.
Sure. Yeah. Poop water. Yeah. So it's a pretty good game. I recommend it. I was playing, like I said, the PS4 version. People said the Switch version does have some lag associated with it, but I think that was only when it was docked because I think it bumps up to 1080p. But when it's undocked, it's 720p and it runs fine. I think is how I understood that. So I might pick it up on there because I've got some flights coming up, and this is a great time waster.
Did this person win? Did these people win the game? Is this them winning the game? Is
I don't
that what
know.
you have to do to win?
These are the top snaps. I don't know if they get something in their game. I never got to that point in the main story to see what could happen. You can also go and visit these worlds. I couldn't at this point in the game, but if you like go to the top islands, I think is what it's called, and you see something like this, you can just hit a button and it'll go and like visit their world. So you could just start walking around here, which is kind of crazy to think about.
So are you, how long have you played it so far, you think?
I would say like at least 20 hours. It's
Still
been
enjoying it?
3 streams. Yeah. I finished the first like world, and I got back to like the home world. And then they said something like, hey, we need to go to this other place to get something for this world to continue. And it's supposed to be a brand new island that's going to start like a whole another chain of quests and yada, yada, yada. So,
Is there like at the start of the first world or whatever, do they tell you like the goal, like what you have to do?
in the sense of like the overarching goal or just like,
Yeah, the big overarching goal, say like, in order for you to beat this entire whatever, you have to build a town that has all this shit or something like that? Does it have that?
Not necessarily outright.
Lead you through it step by step.
It leads you through it it's very well actually directed in the sense of like you never feel overwhelmed. There's always like, all right, now you need to do this. It's not like you need to do this, then this, then this, then this, so you can do this. It's just here's the next thing that you have to go do. Like the most I ever had on my plate at once is like you need to find 5 different flowering plants to put in this farm. Is kind of the overarching goal. But the way that they unlock that stuff is as you plant more and kind of, 250 things is what you have to plant. Once you plant 50 of them, 2 new quests come available where a town person will come up and run to you and say like, hey, I heard that there is, some pumpkin seeds over to the west. Maybe you should go check that out.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll go in and venture out and kind of see the west. Here's some fighting stuff. Fighting's very basic. You have a button that you can press and it attacks. You can hold down that button.
Just like Portia.
Yeah. You have a button that you can press. You hold it down. It can do some charge attacks. I think that stuff gets better later on. I'm a little overpowered right now because I'm wearing a tortoise shell, which is a very high defense thing. Because for some reason, I, in typical me fashion, found a way to kill a mob that I was not supposed to kill yet by just standing there and letting Malroth, the spiky-haired guy, just attack it for about 3 minutes until it died. And he never attacked me. I planted these trees here and it fucking ruined all the cutscenes towards the end of the game. Or towards the end of this level. Because you can't see anything. These trees just block the entire camera. And so that really... I didn't know that was going to be a thing. We were testing to see if you could plant these acorn trees next to each other rather than just by one. Turns out you can, but... This is the type of cutscenes you get where you can't see anything that's happening. There's nothing at all. It's really fucking ridiculous.
You're trying to move like the camera and it won't go.
Yeah. It was really annoying. Let me see. This is towards kind of the end of the first area. You start to build this like massive tree that had 3 different tiers to it. And it had something like probably something like 900 blocks or something associated with it. But the villagers were the ones that would build it. So they would put down a chest that had all the materials and you'd have to go find like the unique materials. And they would, in real time, like start building this thing up piece by piece by piece. And you could sit there and watch them, which I thought was really cool. Because you could just get a high vantage point and you just see a bunch of AI scurrying around, like throwing down blocks or coming in and like chopping a block off and putting a one of these like green pieces of leaf there and whatnot. So yeah, it's fun. I wonder what the rest of the game looks like. People were telling me I was like 10% of the way through or some like very minuscule number. And if it was already this complicated, I really wonder like what the end looks like. 'Cause I had 75, maybe 85 things that I could build that were all unique. And if like that tech tree goes out further, it's going to be fucking crazy. Everything they're seeing right here is stuff that I put down. Like you walk over and this place is just, there's nothing here except like ruins of a building. So all this stuff is built over, the 10 or so hours that I was in this area or 15 hours that I was in this area. That's the tree they built. And that's only part 2 of it because eventually water starts going down everywhere. And you kind of have to go explore. Here's a little bit of the map. If I zoom out again, maybe I'll show that. I don't know what my character's doing. Or I don't know what I was doing at this point. Maybe they're building it. The map's very large. There it is. You can see how like much shit there is.
And this is just the first island, right?
This is just the first island, yeah.
Jesus.
You have a cape. I got a cape that unlocked, so like you can jump off a high vantage point and you'll basically just glide for a pretty long time, which is cool.
Cube World style?
Yeah. A lot of people kept referencing that for sure. Those are the hearts, by the way, that they planted those crops and they were very excited about that. Here's the tech tree.
JP, we call those hope fragments.
Hope fragments. Sorry, I apologize. Here's all the different things you can build over time. So yeah, that right there is a mess hall. The kitchen's behind it. That right there are the 5 restrooms. I had to put down 30 of those little flag things.
Oh, that's the poop pot.
That's the poop pot right there with the door.
Yeah, okay. Poop pot and a little towel for everybody to wipe their hands, I guess.
Yeah, that's the mess hall right there.
Oh.
So
You mean you don't know how to use the 3 seashells, Z? What?
What? 3 seashells? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
He doesn't know how to use that 3 seashells.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
How often would you have to clean out the night soil?
Only when you want to. It's not something that like fills up. It's just you go over and hey, if you need some night soil.
That's convenient.
Yeah, like the game never in the 20 hours that I played it, I was never like annoyed by anything, if that makes sense. There's no mechanics that are like outright annoying. Like the quality of life of everything is just like, hey, if you need this, you can go get it right now. Or you can leave it there and it'll just continue collecting stuff. Here's me chopping wood. What's that?
Actually looking kind of cool.
It's really cool. Bike Man actually really loves this game. He's played a lot more than I have, and he's super into it. Erin was into mine. She was excited that I was playing Minecraft here, and we had a long conversation about wanting to play Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say about it because I haven't really experienced. Oh, I did have a Subnautica moment where I jumped out into the ocean right here, and the music got really tense, and it was like a monstrous monster is approaching, and I like looked down, and I couldn't see the bottom of the sea, and like there was a large shadow that was approaching me, and I just fucking got out of the water, and I never went back. So I don't know what's down there. I would assume you could probably fight like some crazy sea monsters or something like that. I don't know what it was. I never went back. It definitely triggered the whatever that's called with that Subnautica triggers, the phobia of that. So.
Fear.
Yeah, fear. Exactly.
Like thalassophobia or something like that.
Yeah, thalassophobia. I think that's right. Yeah.
There it is. I nailed it. Hey, I got it in one.
Yeah.
Despair. That'd be
Despair.
another good one.
Yeah. It was definitely like, oh God, get the fuck out. Please get out of the water. Please jump. Oh God, throw down a rock. Okay, we're good. Whew. Anyways, we're good. We moved on.
Okay.
All right.
All this said, do you think that I would get like, because this probably wouldn't be a game that I play on stream.
Sure.
But if I played this off stream, do you think this is a game that Zeke could get addicted to get like really into?
I think so.
I know it's a judgment call, but
I think so only because I went into this with the idea of like, it's a Minecraft game. There's not much else out. Or it's a Minecraft-esque game. I'll check it out. I don't know if I'll be super into it. And then I played for like 20 hours and, want to play a lot off stream. So yeah, I think you'd probably be able to find some interest in it. Even if it's just the type of thing, like to me, this is the perfect, like, all right, let's just fucking build some shit. And then just like sitting back on a couch, just kind of losing track of time very easily and chilling the fuck out. It seems like the perfect game for that.
Okay.
So I'd say try it. You'll know very quickly if it's in your wheelhouse or not, if you want to play it or not. Like the game it doesn't hide what it is. Like from the very get-go, you're very aware of what's happening.
Okay. It's making me inordinately anxious that you're not opening those treasure chests.
Well, those are storage.
Those are storage boxes.
Yeah, the storage boxes. Yeah.
I know that, but it's killing me that it's like, open the chest. Just open the chest. They're right there. Please, just open the chest.
Yeah.
Now,
even though I know what they do and what they are.
Right.
We never saw. Did we ever see Dragon Quest make it to PC?
Dragon Quest 11 is on the PC. Yes. This never made it to the PC. The first one of these never made it to the PC, and I doubt this one will. I hope it would, or I hope it does, because like performance-wise, this game never dropped below 60, from what I could tell. And if it did, it was like 55 or something like that. Even with the craziness that was in the village, I never really had like an FPS drop that was noticeable. But I could totally see where like the controls, like you have to learn how the game operates with the controller. It's not, there's a lot of things where it's like you have to press L2 and L1 at the same time so that you're aiming down at the ground but also charging your hammer, or like L1 will make you look up a hex, and L2 will make you look down a hex, I think is what it is, or something like that. I can't even like tell you what the controls are off the top of my head because I still have not gotten fully used to them. But once you grasp it, I think it becomes second nature, just like anything else, because you're using it so much. But it's definitely something you have to learn. And it's the case where, like, if it were on a PC, it would be much better. It would be a lot better to operate that stuff. Minecraft kind of nailed that style of gameplay, I think, control-wise on the PC, and this obviously desperately needs it, but you just can't get that stuff on. Unless maybe you plug in a mouse and keyboard on a PS4. I don't even know if that would work, though. That works with some games, but I don't know if it would work with this. I'm planting pumpkins here, by the way. Very important. And that water around, I built the ridge around it so that it grows faster. You have to have a scarecrow there as well so that the worm knows to come and till it. And also so the people come and till after the worm turns the soil into good soil, the people will come and till the land so that they can start planting stuff and blah, blah, blah. You learn all
right,
that
damn
stuff.
it. Fine.
The only thing I will say is that this game is very long. So be careful because you might be committing to like a multiple tens of hours.
Well, the good news is from the sounds of it, there's like nearly no reason to finish it. So it sounds like this is one of those like fun games to play, but like if the story isn't that interesting and you're not really plugged into it and you're going through most of the dialogue, it's sounding more and more like it's something you just pick up, have some fun with, and put down.
I would say that, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try at least. I'll try it once, just one hit, to see how it tastes, and we'll go from there.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase. You enjoy stories that I don't, so it might be something that you're like, oh, I'm actually into this. Whereas I was just kind of like, fucking, I really want to just put a block.
Well,
down, like,
to be fair, I thought Ni no Kuni 2 was complete garbo. So if it's like
so
anything,
did I. I mean, it wasn't.
Well, I know.
game.
I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, if you think it's not very like, yeah. I can't imagine a story in a universe in a game like this that would really be super engaging. I mean, not saying it's not, but it'd be hard.
Sure. No, that makes sense. So yeah, that's Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's fun.
Is it full price?
It is $60. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fucking massive game.
I was just wondering.
Yeah. I know a lot of people would discredit it for being $60, but like, it's a very large game. So that's probably why it's so much. It's a full price.
Creative building looks good though. Like that there was a lot of stuff I saw just in what you showed today that has piqued my interest. Like for instance, I have 50 hours almost in my time at Portia.
Yeah.
And it's always bugged me that there's not a lot of creative building in that game.
Oh,
so I'm kind of looking at this game and I keep seeing more and more stuff where I'm like, oh, it's just like in Portia. That's just like in Portia. And then I see you do the building and I'm just like, oh, that building looks so much better.
That's the one thing that because like this world that I'm in right now, this island is very directed. And so you were asking about like if there's a creative mode or like a sandbox mode or anything. I think the island that I went to after this is kind of like the hub world, and that's where you can kind of do whatever you want in terms of like building stuff out. But it took me...
Can you like go to the other worlds and get resources and stuff and then go back to that world?
Yeah, you carry your resources back and forth. And there's also a mailing system, but I'm not sure what it does. These are all like weird characters in the thing that are telling me different quests and stuff to do. I'm waking them up basically to get this quest. There's also costumes that you can get for your characters. There's armor. You can craft weapons.
That is a derpy gentleman.
Yeah, it's Perry. That's Pastor Al right there. He's a good guy. Yeah, so you can see right there in the text, like, grow some fucking tomatoes. Yeah. So like, I got to go get those tomatoes. There's like boss monsters that spawn in the world that drop rare things and give you recipes so you can go and hunt those guys. So they have a lot of like side stuff to do, which is cool, which is really cool. Curious to jump
is there like a full...
Good. They're just pooping out hearts.
Yeah, well, I'm already full on this world. You can see right there where it says Mac. I don't know why I just did that. In the top left below the HP, it says level max. The town was like max level, so these hearts are doing nothing.
Oh, okay.
So is there a full like equipment inventory?
There's not an equipment inventory, so to speak, but you can craft armor. You can craft a shield, and you can craft a weapon. And then you can also craft weapons for Malroth, that guy right there who fights with me, the spiky-haired gentleman. And then you can also craft weapons and armor for the townspeople. Because your town will every once in a while get raided by monsters. And depending on what weapons they have, they'll do better in that fight. And the monsters, depending on what monsters they are, like if they're the larger skeletons, they can actually destroy things in the farm, which is fucking really annoying when they like break a fence on a farm, because then it's not a farm anymore. You have to rebuild that fence. But just like the little bat guys, I think will maybe destroy the crops. You also Naruto run. You start sprinting.
Oh, God.
Oh, good. So you're bullet immune. Excellent.
It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I did not have the strongest weapon here when I was fighting these crabs. This might actually be... Oh, yeah, okay. This is like the forest area where I start finding some... You'll recognize all the monsters, by the way, Zeke. I'm sure you've already recognized some of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're Dragon Quest guys.
Well, it's already better than Dragon Quest in that it doesn't have to do this little cinematic. Every fucking time you hit a monster, it doesn't do this like...
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
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 You can just like hack at them.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, yeah, that's all the combat is like how fast can you attack this guy? And that charge attack, like it does some extra damage, but the frames of animation is so long and drawn out that you really just have to, if you just hit it normally, it'll be like 4 attacks in the span of one of those attacks. And it'll just be more damage outright. There's probably stuff that happens much later on in the game that will change everything. In terms of combat and all that stuff. I just haven't gotten there yet, so I can't speak to that. But everything you see right here on the screen, you can walk up and destroy with your hammer and take back to the base. And you eventually have to do some of that. So like I could go knock this tree over right in front of me to collect that bark and to get those acorns and to get that grass. And I could just take that back to my base and put it all down and try to create something similar. So it's cool. I'm probably going to play more of it today. Depending on how Fire Emblem goes on Friday, if that grabs me, I'll probably take this with me on and start over on the Switch and play that while I'm traveling in August. But yeah, it's good. It's a fun game. I recommend it. I'm kind of at odds because like I really want to enjoy Fire Emblem, but this game's kind of good too. So like, I think I'll have to choose one of those because they both seem so fucking large that if I don't, I'll just never beat either game. And just the next month, when games actually start coming out, it's going to be like, well, do I want to finish this 100-hour game or do I want to finish that 100-hour game? I don't know. Let's play something else. That's what'll happen. Yeah, so that's Dragon Quest Builders 2. PS4, Switch, $60. I recommend it. It's good. It also does well on Twitch, which is an odd thing. I was very surprised by the numbers that it would generate. I don't know if that was because people were not streaming it and wanted to check it out or what. I couldn't really find the cause for that, but it's just a chill game. Maybe people are just... Maybe it's the Minecraft crowd looking for something else. I don't know. I can't really find a cause for it. Zeke, what about you? We mentioned 999. What have you been? What is that? What's that about?
999, the Nonary games. Yes. You want to know what that is? Well, I got the box right there.
Can I show this game? Is it going to be spoilery if I do? What do you?
Yeah, you can probably show some stuff.
I'll go to the first VOD, so hopefully there's not too much.
Wait, was that it in your hand, Zeke? You're not playing on the PC?
Yep. Nope. This was a gift from a friend. Oh. This was a gift. It was a gift from a viewer, and they said, "Here you go." And don't get the wrong idea, anybody out there. If you send me stuff, there's no guarantee I'll play it. I think the person who sent this to me like 3 or 4 months ago. So like I'm just now like kind of in a lull getting to it.
There's a long name title, by the way. It's like breaking the title box out there.
Well, yeah, it's just 999 for most people, but like that's the full title is 999, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. So what this game is the basic premise of the game is that you are kidnapped by some mysterious person, and you are plopped down in this you find out that you're on a ship, what you think is a giant like cruise liner ship, like out in the ocean.
Okay.
Because one of the your very first thing that you do is that you're in your room and the portcullis has been broken and the water starts flooding in, and so you have to like escape your way out of it. That's me telling chat like, don't help me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So what the basic the structure of this game is, it's 9 people who have all been kidnapped, and they're all plopped down. They all had to escape their own like starting room to get to this like hub area. And you actually say hub area in the games. Like, this is our hub area, right? Like,
hey, JP, give me a thumbs up when he's done, by the way.
A little on the nose.
Oh, okay.
What?
I
just
he's
realized
worried about
like I'm actually gonna play this, and I really don't want to know any of this. So I just realized, like, let me know when you're not talking about.
This is like right at the start of the game. This is nothing like. Okay. I'm not spoiling anything yet.
Okay, cool.
Like this is like the whole overarching like thing of the game. But you as you travel throughout the game, it's without spoiling anything, there's a lot of puzzles. It's dialogue heavy. It's you kind of have to piece together what is actually going on as you go through the game. Yeah, you know what? I'll do this for you, Ko. I got my hand up for you.
Oh, I got something for that. Hold on.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, God, the fake. Okay.
JP's got the weird picture. That's not going to match his arm this time, is it? You got to put up the other thing?
I don't actually know if it will or not. Hold on.
Or are you going to make a new one with your arm up?
I could probably make a new one, but we're just going to do this. It's not going to match color-wise, but there we go.
There you go. Weird. That is so weird looking.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Zeke, go hard into all this stuff that might be spoilers. I'll wait for the arm to go down to unmute.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not gonna go heavy spoilers. I don't want to spoil the game, but I will say that it is a escape room. If you like escape room, you'll like this kind of games. It's you take different of the characters into these, like, choices matter in this game, and it's one of those games where the replayability of the game, it's kind of like Nier. If you don't play the game after you beat it one time again and again and again to pick up everything, you'll miss most of the good shit of the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to play through the game, get an ending, go back. The best part about this game that they added, I guess, to the remake version. I'm not sure if it's on the PC version, but on the PlayStation version, the best thing they added to this game is a flowchart. They have a flowchart of your choices, and you can just go back to the choices that you made, and it shows like a split with different choices. Oh, okay. Are we good?
Yeah, you guys got to not freak out when stuff happens. You've been in production before. Just keep the show going, Zeke.
No, hey, listen. I didn't know if I was talking to nobody because it looked like it froze for me. I'm sorry. I was out in the dark. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared. Okay, anyways. So it has a flow chart. You press the pause button or whatever button, triangle, and it shows like, here you go, here we go. This is a single line. Here's your choice. This is what you did this time. This is what you haven't done yet. And you can just go back to the choice and do the other choice again. And that's not really spoilers because you can see it like right away. Like it's right in the menu. The puzzles aren't really hard if you don't overthink them. Don't overthink this game. It's not as hard as all that. I got to a point where I was like, oh, okay, I got this one clue. And it's like, okay, it's got this triangle thing, and you fold it over, and maybe that's the way you open these two secrets. Oh, fuck no! And I spent like 20 minutes on this one puzzle, and all I had to do was find the other clue. I thought I had enough clues to solve the puzzles, I didn't have enough.
I don't know why. Why is that Ripco? Do you understand why that's Ripco? Is that a challenge for him?
Did he freeze? He might have froze.
No, he's not frozen. I just don't understand why they're saying Ripco.
Because it looks like he froze. All right.
It's because he overthinks everything. That's what it is.
Oh, because he overthinks. Oh, that's why. Okay. So this game is very fun. The characters are fun. The fucking localization.
One second. Get away. Go ahead.
The localization of the game. Yeah, you can take the arm down. I won't go anything else like spoilerish.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into anything else. That's even like spoilerish at all. Slow down, Zeke. Use your word. Okay. Sorry, I have to tell myself that. The localization of the game, I will say, is it's phenomenal. And the reason why it's phenomenal is because it's not, this game wasn't when it first came out, wasn't voice acting. So they have to do like a repetition thing.
Oh, weird.
Where they be like, door, 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 door. Everybody says it. Or they have like ... in quotes. And they go through every single person that in the scene. They go, oh. Like they'll go through every single person. And they do that without dial, because it wasn't meant, or didn't come out with voice acting. Yeah. All it would do was show pictures of the people that were in the scene. And then just to show you who was reacting to it. But with the voice acting, you get a little, ooh. Like with every single person in the fucking scene. And they do that a lot. And they repeat shit a lot. Like, they'll come up to a door with a big, huge, like, red number on it. And then the person in your party will be like, this looks like a numbered door. Yeah, genius. Good job. Here's your fucking Mensa cap.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I'm playing it with English voice acting because it's too good not to. It's rife with humor for that reason. But I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm gonna be finishing it up tomorrow at noon. So if you want to check out the exciting conclusion of 999, that's happening tomorrow at noon. But it's gonna be spoiler heavy tomorrow. So if you don't want it spoiled, then don't bother.
Sure. End of the game. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Describe the character voices. The character voices are pretty good. I mean, they're not terribly matched. It's just I feel bad for the voice actors who had to get it translated into English, because a lot of times it's super literal, and also I had like a moment with my chat. I was like, do you think this is one of those games where like the last day of recording their voices, they had to come in and be like, all right, this is the last day of recording. We got a full day of grunts and sighs and nonverbal reaction lines. They're like, oh, fuck. They come in there like, can you give me an EH sound? Can you give it to me like 10 different ways? There's a shitload of that in the game.
I had no idea you were a professional voice actor, Zeke.
I know. I'm that good.
Very well done.
But yeah, the voices in the game are familiar, like Papa Coffee from Mocha Chill from Persona 5. I think he has a voice in it. Sojiro, yep. And I think there's another one or two voices that are semi-familiar in there. How long is it? Well, I'm never a good metric. Never a good metric for how long a game is, but I would say a normal person that's not me could probably get through a playthrough. If you wanted to do all the stuff, I don't know, 20 hours maybe.
Jeez. That's not too long, actually, now that I think about it.
Am I doing a normal playthrough then? Because I've done 2 full casts. That's like 16. And if I get all of it, like in another broadcast, that'll be like 23, right?
It's pretty normal. I don't know what's going on,
24?
but that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
But not to jump back to it and spend too much time on it. I was curious just to see what the howlongtobeat.com was on Dragon Quest Builders 2. There's one person that's completed on there, and it says 85 hours. So it's about what I expected. A lot of stuff in that. But yeah, Zeke, you'd recommend it? 9 and 9 gets your thumbs up. Granted, it's been out there for a while, so you might be kind of late to the party, but
yeah, because this game originally came out on DS, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
And then it went to PS Vita. So these were like mobile games, and you can see the kind of the graphically, you can see that it was definitely originally like a mobile game,
right?
Because the lines are real thick and they're not like super defined, but it's also like a visual novel style game, so there's no animation in it.
Yeah. I think Dan's Gaming played that, and we either talked about it on here or on Court of Swords. I forget where, but I do remember talking about this game now that you brought it up. It might have been on this show or on Court of Swords. I forget, but cool.
Oh, I'm getting shit in chat for calling it a mobile game. And the reason why I say mobile is because you can travel with it. I know I'm not talking about a mobile phone game. There is a difference, right? So should I say like, what is like a
handheld.
PS Vita?
It's a handheld.
A handheld console.
Handheld. It's a stupid semantics.
So a phone is not handheld. It's not a handheld.
I mean,
phone is mobile.
Yeah, I see your point.
Phone is mobile. Tablet is tablet. All handheld consoles are generally called handheld.
Yeah. There's got to be. Yeah. That's
phone.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Words are weird. I agree with chat.
Yeah.
No, a tablet is mobile. Yeah, I guess it might be. But then by that definition, so is a DS. It's a mobile game.
I've heard tablets referred to as tablet because they're usually larger touch screens.
Yeah.
A lot of games are like specifically designed for that interface.
Right.
So, but again, like you said, it's just semantics. It's just semantics.
Jeez. He's sneezing all over you, Co. Don't get sick.
All right, fine. Hold on.
Don't get sick.
Excuse me. It just snuck right up on me.
It does. That's how it does. That's what it does.
I love how someone in chat was like, semantics argument. Real good use of your time or something like that. It's like, we're talking about video games, dude. Like,
yeah.
Get over it.
None of this is a good use of our time.
Exactly.
What's even more not a good use of time is playing Borderlands the pre-sequel, right, Co? How was the revisit to the worst Borderlands game?
It's actually pretty great.
What? I mean, now is that like, it's a pretty great, or is it like actually a pretty great game?
It's
Don't
pretty
take
great
that the wrong way.
because I feel you. Basically, the whole Borderlands franchise playthrough has been one big game. So the same characters, the crazy humor and everything. So since I'm pretty much trying my best to just stick to the main story in pre-sequel,
Yeah.
it really hasn't been that bad. There's some really fun parts. There's some funny parts. It's been really interesting because, again, this is my first time ever playing pre-sequel. So it's essentially kind of like a new game for me. And there's not a huge amount of those that I still have left that I'm interested in playing. So that's been really fun. It's also been really cool because I had played Borderlands 1 and 2 before, but I never really understood like the story of Jack. And I have to admit, now that I'm playing pre-sequel, it's a lot more interesting than I anticipated. So for those who don't know, and for those who skipped it, like a lot of people, pre-sequel basically tells the fall of Jack. So, like, for instance, at the beginning of pre-sequel, Jack is kind of like a dude trying to be a hero. Like, it's actually pretty cool. And you kind of go through all these events where he just kind of, you see these little things happen, and he starts going more and more, and he says these little quips that you're like, oh, that's not right. You shouldn't have liked that, but he really did. And then it gets to, like, the big kind of, and I just kind of got to this point in the game, kind of like the big down part, like one of this big iconic event that kind of shapes how Jack feels about everyone else. And I had no idea that it happened in Borderlands 2 and in the others. So it's been really interesting seeing all that and kind of playing through it. And from what I understand, I'm getting closer to the end where it flips over to the sequel part. And apparently that's pretty cool too. So for what it is, I've been having a good time with it. Just more Borderlands. I wouldn't say it's the best Borderlands. I would argue there's some pretty big flaws with it. But at the same time, if you just kind of take it for the main story, like just like Borderlands 3, it's just more Borderlands. So yeah, I've been having a pretty good time with it. My mods have been super helpful playing with me, and I've been playing with them the whole time too. So I can kind of just play it casually and not really worry about it, and it's fun.
Oh, great! We're getting into it right here. I specifically remember the the low gravity, anti-gravity thing just being like the worst part of the game. One of the reasons that just put me off. Is it going back to it now and playing through it for the first time? Are you noticing that? Is it annoying, or is it just like a different thing to get through?
Weirdly enough, when I played with Zeke and Bike, I remember it being more frustrating and annoying. And I'm kind of with you on that. However, playing through the second time, it was kind of interesting because it was reversed. Like I got so used to the double jumping and the really high jumping and things like that, that when I'd go into areas that have normal gravity, I would be like, oh, no, now I want to jump high again. There's also a second vehicle that unlocks throughout the game that is a strafable kind of like, if you remember in Unreal Tournament 2004, a Manta, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Which is basically like a motorcycle, except it had two giant VTOL fans on each side of it. You essentially get one of those in this midway through it. And that really makes the overland traversal a lot more bearable. One thing that's always kind of bugged me about Borderlands is I hate the car driving, where you have to look the direction you're going. You can't steer the car with the keyboard. It drives me crazy because I'm one of the kind of person that likes to look somewhere else that they may be going a different direction, like turning your head in DayZ. And you just can't do that in Borderlands. But you can kind of do that with the strafe vehicles. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, like it's been good. It's been good. Some of the side characters are a little flat. Like you can tell they're really trying to make them funny, and they just kind of aren't. Which is kind of unfortunate. But some of the main story stuff, especially, has been really funny. Like some of the AI stuff and a lot of the quip. Jack himself is like in full display, and he's always funny and doing his things. And I'm playing Claptrap, so my mods have been really good about letting me pick up the items and finish the quests. And Claptrap always just has absolutely ridiculous stuff to say. So it's essentially been like the Claptrap and Jack show for the whole time.
Okay.
And that's made it actually pretty funny. Borderlands funny, I should say. I would need to preface that a little bit. But yeah, it's been good. I've been enjoying it. I still have probably 3 to 4 hours left. I just got to a point where I'm like level 23 and the next main quest is 26. So I've got to do probably an hour or two of side questing. But then after that, from what I understand, I can just kind of like shoot to the end, which is the plan. And then we go into Tales. Then we go back to Borderlands 2 for the finale. And then I'm done with the franchise playthrough. So closing in, surprisingly.
Still, have you hit the point of like, oh God, this is more Borderlands? Or are you still like, oh, there's more Borderlands?
I'm actually really glad that I got to pre-sequel when I did, because the Borderlands 1 and 2, since I'd already done them, like it was cool kind of remembering, and I did kind of forget most of the story in Borderlands 2, so it was kind of cool playing it again. But it's that kind of remembering where when you do it, it's not like, oh, that was awesome. You do it and you're like, oh, I remembered that.
Sure.
You know, so it didn't quite have that impact. But I'm actually really glad that this has been the third game for me, because again, all of this is new. I've never done any of this. And that's kind of put a lot of wind back in my sails for the franchise run. That being said, like, again, I've been playing the whole Borderlands run specifically to get lore and kind of get ready for our big Borderlands 3 run in September. And when focusing on that, I really haven't gotten tired of it. Like it's been fun. I'm just treating it like a giant game that I'm kind of playing beginning to end. It's been good.
Did they was it a remaster of 1 and 2? What an upscaling?
Okay, so
like what is
confusing.
The terms?
Yeah, there was a Borderlands Game of the Year edition, and then there was a Borderlands Enhanced Game of the Year edition, and that's for 1. And then they have the Handsome Jack collection, which doesn't include 1.
And that's the new one?
Better versions of 2 and pre-sequel, I think, with all the DLCs and stuff. So it's a little convoluted. You can definitely tell over the years Gearbox was just trying very similar to Skyrim. They were just trying different ways to get money for stuff they'd already made, so they just made all these collections and stuff. That being said, the Handsome collection right now, which used to be worth hundreds of bucks, I think is still like less than $10. So it's a good deal. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's a little confusing. But right now, the way to do it is Game of the Year Enhanced Edition for 1, which has major issues, unfortunately, and then Handsome Jack collection for 2 and pre-sequel, and then Tales, and then you're basically done with it.
So
what do you mean by major issues?
The first Game of the Year Enhanced Edition has memory leaks. Straight up. The Borderlands 1 has crazy memory leaks issues. I had to restart the client every 3 to 4 hours. Apparently, it's a bug that Gearbox knows about, but they just are working on different things. They just don't care to fix it. So that was a major issue with 1. And then in 2, I had a really bad crashing issue. A lot of people said that it has something to do with the 2080 cards, because some people weren't crashing at all, but some people like me would crash like 4 to 5 times in a boss fight. Funny enough, for the first 80% of the Borderlands 2 playthrough, every time I'd crash, I'd have to restart the whole fight, and it became this big issue. But I later learned, while trying to troubleshoot, that when you crash that way in Borderlands 2, you can tab out, bring up your task manager, pull up the details, reset the affinity of the program, which will then for some reason force it to minimize. And then if you wait, Alt-Tab to anything besides it, then you'll start hearing audio from it, and then you can tab back into it.
Oh, sure, yeah. Great workaround.
Weird bug, man. Weird bug. But that was our fix.
It works,
that would get around it. So, and I just randomly found that through some odd troubleshooting stuff that I was trying at some point. So, yeah. But what's really cool about that is, since I found a way to fix that bug, my 3 mods could keep like the boss fights going while I'm trying to deal with the crash. And as long as I could get back in time before other clients disconnected, then we could just keep the fight going. So that was good. But again, apparently this has something to do with the 2080 cards. I'm not saying there's like massive crashing issues with 2. Cullen from the Borderland guys, the Gearbox dudes, he gave me some suggestions. They were very much trying to help. And I think the Borderlands 2 stuff Gearbox is still working on fixing. It just wasn't ready for when I was playing it.
I'm having a hard time remembering, because I have pretty good memories of Borderlands 1 and 2 when it first came out. Did those games launch with like a lot of bugs? Was there a lot of like stability issues or anything when those games first come out? Because I'm starting to wonder, like, should we be worried about the launch of Borderlands 3 having that stuff?
Well, you did see their first preview, right?
No.
Remember?
No,
remember
yeah.
we all watched it. Yeah,
Right.
It was a fiasco. They couldn't even get the video working.
Right.
No, but I'm just kidding. That has nothing to do with it, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't remember the big thing I remember from the first releases, and we're gonna need to have some Borderlands fans correct us here. I think most of the issues were around multiplayer.
Okay.
Like I remember there were issues with people playing together and stuff, but I think most of like the core game was okay. I think there have always been like little bugs in the games, but I mean it's not like game breaking huge issues. There were quest issues.
Bugs.
Yeah. There were some quest issues and events not triggering properly. But I don't think it was like major. It wasn't an X4 or anything like that, where there were fundamental development problems with the game.
Sure.
I think it was more just needed some more polished situation.
Yeah, I can envision a world where Borderlands 3 comes out and there's like an issue that Reddit and the internet does what it does, and then Randy gets out there and it just becomes a whole situation. So I'm bracing myself. I'm tempering myself.
Unlike the other 2 games, there has been a lot of gameplay demos already from the Gearbox streaming
That
group.
is true.
Like a lot of people have streamed it. There have been some pretty major breaks and crashes that have gone on during those, but none of them have been like, oh God, they need to fix this before release. From what I understand, it's been just mostly like, anytime that happens, the Gearbox guys were just like, oh, we know that's already fixed in the production build or stuff like that.
Cool.
So I think, especially these days with as many eyes are on the project, and especially how long we've been waiting for Borderlands 3, I would be very surprised if it released like as a buggy mess.
Yeah.
That would be very strange.
A couple people,
with this, how long they've been working on it.
A couple people in chat are bringing up the point too, like Gearbox needs this to succeed, right? Because the last thing they put out was Battleborn, that they sank a lot of resources into, and that didn't really go anywhere.
Battle what?
Battleborn.
Exactly.
You remember that?
That's exactly right.
No, I don't actually.
Battleborn was their like class-based multiplayer Overwatch.
Battleborn was one of the games that we talked about on this show that released at a terrible time because it released so close to Overwatch. It was one of those games that we thought was just, it was like a Paladins. It was one of those games that we just didn't think was going to make it. Yep. And sure enough, it turns out that we were all absolutely right how that situation worked out. Someone was talking, I was talking about some of this last week. Turned out like we had said a lot of stuff about those games after the Overwatch stuff. And as he told me, it turned out almost everything we said on this show turned out to be right. Which was kind of interesting.
That's surprising.
Like, that's what I thought too. I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, like a lot, like pretty much it all worked out how we thought it was. A bunch of companies tried to compete with Overwatch. Almost none of them succeeded. Most of those projects are dead. Lawbreakers didn't last a year. Like, yeah.
Lawbreaker, yeah.
Lawbreakers, yeah.
Lawbreakers, Paladins, Battleborn, they all just disappeared.
You mentioned Overwatch, and I don't know if you guys have kept up with what they announced last week, but I don't want to spend too much time on this, but they basically announced that they are allowing for like 2-2-2 multiplayer queues, like specific role queues in multiplayer.
Yeah, real quick. Paladins is still around, but it was supposed to be like a competitor. Yeah. And it unfortunately, I think that's what we were talking about. It didn't really take off. There is a Paladins community though, to be fair. In fact, there's still some people that stream it.
Sure.
And more power to them. But it didn't quite, I'm sure we were all hoping it would have an extra 0 or 2 on those numbers.
Yeah, I think everyone always wants that.
But it is still around. It is
still around. But yeah, for Overwatch, they're allowing role queue now, which is a thing when the game first came out that like everyone cried for, and they're like, nah, we'll never do that. That's not something that we could ever really put in. Here we are, like 4 years later, and it fucking exists. Like, it's just infuriating for me. The game, I don't even play the game, and it pisses me off.
What is it?
It's role queue. So you can say like, I'm going to queue as a tank, so that when I play, I will play as a tank in the match.
Okay.
It's not just like you queue and get into multiplayer, then the 6 of you fight about how some jackass is a Genji and someone doesn't want to heal. Like, you queue and you have to play those roles. And they basically, when the game first came out, they said like they would never, most likely would never do that. And here we are. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's upsetting. But anyways, I don't, it's gotten to the point where it's like, well, maybe that's when I jump back and see if Overwatch is still fun. But
I was actually kind of curious if you're going to do that. There's a lot of big stuff coming out. Like Seagull had a crazy big stream yesterday, the day before for his birthday. Huge amount of Overwatch stuff was announced and talked about new hero coming.
He's always done.
Like, are you going to dive back in and check all this stuff out?
I don't know, man. Those were some of the most, if not the most, rage-inducing streams that I've ever had. And the community has only gotten worse in terms of toxicity around all that. And so I can just imagine a world where it would only do bad things. Like I watch Anne play all the time, or not all the time, but she's been playing recently, and like Anne is usually a pretty even kill person. She gets very upset playing Overwatch, rightfully so. And so I can only imagine that also occurring to me. And I don't know if I just want to build stuff in Dragon Quest Builders, man. I just want to sit there and chip away at some wood. I don't want to
from Overwatch to Dragon Quest Builders.
Yeah, I'm getting old, I think is what that means.
Yeah, where's the competition for guys like us? It's like I want
the Twitch rivals for Dragon Quest Builders.
But it's gonna have to be like an opinion based competition, meaning like I want judges who are qualified to say who was more chill.
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
Like that stream was super chill. You got a little excited there, so dock your points for that one.
Yeah.
But it was 9 out of 10 chill overall.
Pretty good. We could do it. I'll hit Gassy up. He was in the Sea of Thieves Twitch rivals yesterday. Maybe I think they actually did a what's the Stardew Valley. They did a Stardew Valley Twitch rivals already. I don't know how that worked, but they somehow made it competitive. And who knows? I don't know anything about it other than that. Well, cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the pre-sequel. Glad that that's a thing. I can't wait till you get to Tales of Borderlands just because I want to listen to that music and have a reason to listen to that music. Because it's good. We got about 20 minutes for a break. I can spend half that talking about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 because I played it.
Yeah. I've been wondering how that is because I thought it was a fighting game because I've never played any Marvel games like pretty much at all.
It's
a beat 'em up, yeah.
It is through and through a beat 'em up game. It is a button masher beat 'em up game. It's only out on the Switch, so I'm trying to pull up footage of it.
Does it even come close to the joy I had playing the X-Men dual screen, like four player, like at the arcade? Remember that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, because it runs like shit on the Switch.
Is it Switch only?
It's Switch only. Yeah, it's a Switch.
Oh,
I don't know if it's like a Switch exclusive, but it's Switch only. I mean, I guess it would be if it's Switch only, but yeah. I don't know if it's like always going to be on that platform is what I'm trying to say. Like how God of War is always a Sony game.
It's a Switch exclusive right now.
Right now. Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it. So yeah,
I'm going to admit
this is all it is.
Kind of terrible.
This is the game. Like
Could this be a draw frames game?
Yes, but I would be worried about you two shitting on the Marvel lore, so I wouldn't want to do it.
Why? What do you mean shitting on the Marvel lore?
It follows like Marvel lore. Here's what this game is. The best way I can describe this game.
We don't love Marvel or something? I love Marvel.
You might. I guess that's true. Anyway,
I've never had a problem with the Marvel lore, to be honest.
Here is what this game is. This is a bad beat 'em up that is a good game because it's like has the Marvel skin. Is exactly what this game is. Like it goes from like a 6 or a 5 if you want to tie a number to it, and it makes it like a 7 because it's Marvel. So it's the type of thing where you're walking around, it's like, oh shit, it's the green guy. Oh, it's fucking Gwen, and oh god, here are the X-Men, and that's a synth. Oh shit, that's fucking Magneto.
It's Venom.
Cool. It's Venom. Yeah. You're like, cool, it's Venom. We get to fight Venom.
You get to fight like the Joker and the Penguin and stuff?
Yes, yeah. They're in there. They're secret characters for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in
there. I call Batman then.
Okay. All right.
I get to be Mega Man.
It's true. They are in there and some weird tie-ins. Yeah. There's also like I didn't even realize that's the Marvel Flash equivalent. I thought it was the Shocker, but that's Electro. And that's like the
Shocker.
Yeah.
The Shocker.
The Shocker, yeah. The Shocker's
I was waiting for Zeke to do that.
Throw him up, Chad.
I was like, the Shocker? Look at Zeke.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes. It's coming.
Shocker's
and there it
one
is.
Of,
okay, great.
Spider-Man's rogues. That's good. Yeah, I didn't even realize that Electro was a thing and that he had like super speed. But he did. He's in the game. Yeah, so this is the game right here. The difficult bosses are really any boss. See that purple bar below the red bar at the top center? You have to break that so you can do damage to their red bar, their HP bar. And it's
hold on. No, do not Google the Shocker. No, do not do that. Sorry. Get some people confused in my chat.
Right. It's fine. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Also, the nerds are attacking me. I'm sorry, guys. Quicksilver is the Flash equivalent. You're correct. But this guy also has super speed, much like a ton of different people in the MCU. It's okay. We're going to get through this.
Your Marvel credit card, please.
I'm sorry. I'll hand it in after the show. Just give me till the end
Alexa,
of the show.
Define the Shocker.
Alexa, belay that order.
I'm actually curious what
Alexa
would say to
Damn
that.
It,
I don't have anything else to say.
I done it. I had to do it again.
Yeah.
So were you playing the Hulk the whole time, or do you get to switch off?
You can switch to any character in your 4 at any time by just hitting directional. It's tied to the D-pad. So
sure.
At any moment I can
co-op?
switch. Then like once a person controls a person, you can't like take that from them. This was all AI stuff, which I feel like this is the game that you want to play with friends because the AI don't. It's a fun with friends game, I think, through and through. And I did not play with any. In fact, I tried to like find people to play with, and there was only 3 multiplayer games on Friday morning. But there was a news report that came out and said like this is the 3rd best-selling game of all time on the Switch, or 3rd best launch or something like that. Like they're apparently fucking selling like gangbusters. So it's not necessarily that people weren't playing or people aren't playing it. It's that people necessarily weren't looking to play or something like that. But yeah, apparently if you tie the Marvel, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Marvel is a very highly sought out brand right now. So it sells well when you attach it to things.
Really?
Yeah, we should try to work with them. You know, they sponsor Team Liquid now, believe it or not. To the esports. Fucking Team Liquid comes out with like a Captain America jersey on. It's wild. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's got your MCU people. It follows the MCU in the sense that it follows the comics. So you have the Black Order, which is Thanos' like cronies that appear in the movie, but they have a little bit more of a role here. You're kind of chasing down the 6 Infinity Stones, which fall into different people's laps. The Green Goblin being one of them. The Sentinel gets one.
Green Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of different guys in here. And you kind of go through...
I don't even think he was in the Infinity Gauntlet story.
He is in the comics. I mean, everyone's in it in the comics. In the MCU, obviously it's not.
Well, sorta.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
Yeah. I mean...
neither here nor there.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But you kind of go through the different super teams. So you start off and you start with the Guardians. You play as Guardians of the Galaxy. Then you go to the Raft. So you're playing as kind of like Spider-Man's people. His Venom's here. Spider-Gwen's there. Miles Morales is there. And then the Defenders show up. So like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil. Then I think X-Men is after that. And it's got like Wolverine, Cyclops, Psylocke, Beast, Nightcrawler. They're all there. And then I'm not sure what's after that. But I know that there is, I think, 40 heroes and there's 49 planned DLC heroes. So they're adding like a fuck ton of people to this game.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's the type of thing where I just wish it was better. Like I just wish it had more meat to it and I wish it ran better. Because like the cutscenes run fine and look fine. It's the actual gameplay where the FPS fucking starts to drop. When shit starts happening, like you can play as Venom too, by the way. He like says, "Hey, I'll join you here." They do the like "We Are Venom" bullshit, and some of the bad lines make it into the game from the movie, like "We Are Venom," where if you've seen that movie, you know just how fucking bad that line was in the movie. But yeah. It's a beat 'em up with a Marvel skin, so you're either into that or you're not. It doesn't run that well on the Switch. It's probably really fun with friends. I will probably play through it off stream just because like I'm a Marvel fanboy and that's something that I'm interested in doing. But it's not the type of thing where I would subject a stream audience to watch it because it's not the most exciting thing. You're walking up to a thing and just hitting X over and over.
So you don't think it'd be fun for for us three to play together?
Potentially. I mean, we had fun with Apex last week, so it's like I think you could tie that to any game and we'd probably have fun with it. But yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Do they have a how long to beat kind of a thing? Like,
I was told it's around like 14, 15 hours for the main story, but there is a lot of like. Apparently, at the end game, there is Isotope 8 stuff where you can get things to like improve your character in the terms of like an RPG improvement. So like your light damage or your normal attacks will do a lot more damage or your special attacks will do a lot more damage, that type of shit. But I never got to that. I think that's much later on in the game. And I think it's Isotope 8. I think that's the proper Isotope. Oh, the voice acting. Everyone's voice acted in the game. Not by like, Tony Stark is not Robert Downey Jr., but it's like a similar person. Samuel L. Jackson sounds like Frozone.
Nice.
It sounds like someone doing a Samuel L. Jackson impersonation, playing
my super suit?
yeah, playing Frozone as Nick Fury. It's real weird to hear him talk.
That's great though. That's a selling point. I like that.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Well, cool. That's it. We got 10 minutes. What can we talk about for 10 minutes? Is there any short, but you finished your deck. Did you finish the second one of that anime co? You were going to say something else. Too. Yeah. Were you going to say
yeah. Oh man. Tomorrow I finish it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're not done yet.
I'm on the I believe like the last big. It's not really a trial. I don't know what you call it, but it's. Oh man, it's been a ride. Yeah,
Yeah.
the last few days, especially in the game, have been very crazy. Again, this is one of those things I can't really talk about, especially if Zeke ever dives in and gives them a try. But what the only thing I will mention that definitely caught me by surprise, and this isn't, and I'm gonna be careful not to make this a spoiler, but I played Doki Doki Literature Club, and I was like, oh my god, this game is doing so many things I've never seen before, and this is really wild. And this is
You didn't play it You didn't play it before we. No, you played it before me.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay, never mind.
Let me finish real quick. I finished Doki Doki and I was like, man, that was ridiculous. Like, this game is doing all sorts of things I've never seen before. This is wild. Like, it was really cool. And now as I'm getting close to the end of Danganronpa 2, which was made before Doki Doki, I'm like, oh. So, like, that's all I'm gonna say. But I gotta say, like, the ending is getting nuts. It's becoming confusing. It's becoming very deep in ways I wasn't expecting. There's lots and lots of subtle connectivity material that I wasn't thinking was going to be there, and it is an experience for sure. So I have about 3.5 hours left, and I'm going to be finishing it tomorrow, and then I'll probably be taking a break before I do the final one, which is called V3. I'm actually probably going to check out the 999 series before that and just see how that is. And then we have Wolfenstein and Fire Emblem, and we'll see how those are. But yeah, I mean, it has been Danganronpa 1 and 2 have been surprising looks into areas that I have not normally ventured into, and I'm very thankful to my community and chat and everyone who has been. One second, my power's in the process of turning on and off. I don't know why. But it's been very fun figuring out everything that's been happening and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been wild. Oh yeah, my power just went out. There goes my generator turning on. Okay.
Nice. Nice, smooth transition. That's always a good sound, by the way, when the generator kicks in. That whatever that electrical noise, I'm a fan of that.
You're telling me. Well, the generator's outside my window, so it has to like start up. It's a big engine and everything.
Oh.
So basically, what just happened while I was on stream, all of my power went out. My 2 UPSs kept my internet and computers going, and then my generator started up, and now my whole house generator is running the power. The power just came back on from that. So nice.
It's beautiful.
The power's just out right now here.
Jesus Christ. Anything else? Should we just take an early break? Is there anything else you guys want to try to squeeze in here in the next 7 minutes? Something short but
I could
sweet?
do another quick one.
Yeah, by all means.
Surge 2.
Oh, please talk about that, because maybe we should spend more time on that, because I do have a lot of questions.
You know, let's talk about that when we get back.
Yeah, because I meant to play that, but then I found the Dragon Quest.
Oh, here's a super quick one.
Okay.
That we could just do real fast. This isn't really gaming related, but for anyone who listens to NPR in the United States, there's a show called 1A. And yesterday, I had the opportunity to interview the host. So for about 45 minutes yesterday, I talked to Joshua Johnson, the host of 1A. We talked about gaming. We talked about his recent game mode series. Arcade culture, where gaming is heading, like all sorts of fun stuff. But it's all at ko.tv/interview1a. And it may or may not be foreshadowing some future stuff we're doing with them. Cool. But that is something for a later time.
Cool.
What do they do in NPR?
They have a show called 1A. The guy's name is Joshua Johnson. And what 1A is it's basically a show that just covers tons of contemporary topics. So everything from politics to religion to all sorts of stuff. And the reason that I listen to it every day because it's on when I go to lunch normally. So when I'm going to lunch, I turn on the radio in my car, and 90% of the time it's this show. So I've been listening to it for months to years now. But the thing that really kind of connected me with them is last week they did this show called Game Mode, and the first day was all about content creation. So they had Markiplier on, they had Kitty Plays, they had a bunch of people talking about streaming and what that is. Second day was all about game development. They had the game director for World of Warcraft on there. Third day was about loot boxes and legality there. Fourth day was game crunch, and throughout this entire time, they had all sorts of fun stuff on there. Hi, buddy. Where is your mother? But yeah, so they had all sorts of fun stuff going on there, and yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
Holy crap, he's huge.
Yeah.
I know he's getting
His
something.
head's almost as big as yours, Co. What's
Everyone-
happening? How is he growing? It's not.
Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me shrink him down a little bit. Yeah, shrink. There we go. Okay, great.
Oh my God! There you go.
Wow.
Man, that's some amazing powers there, Co. You want to join? I'm starting a new. We found out yesterday I have a superpower. If you can just shrink people, specifically little children, back into their baby form, that's a pretty good one.
We do what we can.
I'll talk to you about it after the stream. Well, let's take a break. I want to come back talk Surge. Zeke did some Indie Sunday stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And then I probably have some other stuff as well, news and whatnot. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you guys then.